The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we can win or lose, we have applied the best for ourselves to the task at the hand. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to one and all. I, Dr. Vanishri, with my host, Dr. Kiran Jalam, welcome you all to the National Colloquium of State Secretaries of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj and hence of State Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj.
I am Dr. Kiran Jalim, faculty from Center for Natural Resource Management, Climate Change and Disaster Mitigation, and Dr. Vanishri from Center for Gender Studies and Development. We feel proud to be faculty members of National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. We are proud just not because this is a national level institution, but this institute strives for the betterment of more than 70% people of this nation. If we have to speak in numbers, we work for the welfare and development of 90 crore citizens of India. We are also happy to share with you that this organization has been serving the nation for more than 60 years. As you are aware, this two-day National Colloquium of SAID is an occasion to look back and way forward, taking stock of the contributions of SAID PRs and NID PR in capacity building and research in RD and PR. The magnitude of the task of capacity building for RD and PR, which involves various stakeholders at different levels, is huge, and SAID PRs have been contributing in a big way, especially for the flagship programs. I now call upon Dr. G. Narendra Kumar, Director General of NIDPR, Mahanirdesak Mahoday, to come on to the dais and occupy his seat. Also request respected DDG in charge and Director Finance, Shri Shashibhushan Sir, respected guest of the day, Dr. Chandrasekhar Kumar, Additional Secretary, MOPR, along with Dr. M.V. Ravi Babu, Associate Professor, Center for Geoinformatic Applications and Rural Development at NIDPR.
Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity, as sunlight expels the darkness of night. Similarly, blessings bring in our life prosperity and happiness. To make this morning a blessed one, invoke Almighty by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. For seeking the choicest blessing, for the same, may I invite our dignitaries on the dais to kindle the lamp. Please, sirs. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise as we honor our country with the singing of our national anthem.
जनगण मनाधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे
We asked God for a day, and God gave us today. We asked God for a flower, and God gave us whole bouquet. To make this occasion more happier, I would be glad to request our colleague, Dr. Nitya, Assistant Professor, Center for Agrarian Studies, to welcome our dignitaries on the dais by presenting a bouquet as a token of love and respect. I request Nitya to greet DG sir and Additional Secretary MOPR Chandrasekhar sir and Shashibhushan sir DDG in charge and ADPR, Dr. M.V. Rai Babu, respected Chief Guest of the day, Sri Nagendra Nath Sinha IAS, Secretary, Ministry of Rural Development, who have joined us online in virtual mode to deliver inaugural address and interact with delegates of this two-day National Colloquium of State Secretaries of RDPR and heads of SARDPRs. I would like to introduce Sri Nagendra Nath Sinha ji. I take the privilege to introduce him. He belongs to 1987 IAS of Jharkhand cadre. He took charge as Secretary, Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, New Delhi on 27th May 2020. Sri Sinha holds bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from IIT Kanpur in 1985 and master's in health sciences from Johns Hopkins University, Baltimore, USA in 2004. His previous assignments includes Secretary, Border Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Chairman, National Highways Authority of India, Managing Director, National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, New Delhi, Additional Chief Secretary, Rural Development, Government of Jharkhand, besides Secretary, Principal Secretary in Departments of IT, Road Construction Industry, Mines, etc. in the state of Jharkhand. He has to his credit several landmark projects in Government of India. Example, Delhi to Mumbai Expressway, Jojila Tunnel, Dubri, Pulbari Bridge, Universal Electronic Tolling, Sports Complex and Games Village at Ranchi Ring Road, State Data Center in Jharkhand. As Secretary Rural Development, he is responsible for formulation, coordination and implementation of policies and programs that addresses the development needs of rural areas, focusing especially on eradication of poverty, creation of sustainable employment and livelihood opportunities, and enabling infrastructure and institutions. We welcome our Chief Guest of the day, Sri Anand Sinha sir, on board with us in this National Colloquium. We take the privilege to introduce our respected Director General, Mahanirdesak Mahoday, National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Dr. G. Narendra Kumar sir. Dr. G. Narendra Kumar belongs to 1988 batch IAS of Union Territory cadre. Sir took charge as Director General of NIDPR Hyderabad on 27th January 2021 for a period of 5 years. He earlier served as Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Delhi. Dr. G. Narendra Kumar IAS possesses PhD from Osmania University and holds master's degree in public administration from Maxwell School of Public Affairs, USA, and a certificate course in information system management from the Syracuse University. He was instrumental in setting up of 4 universities in Delhi and in increasing access to quality technical and higher education of Delhi. Dr. G. Narendra Kumar is also known for developing Pondicherry as the hardware capital of India. While working as Joint Secretary in the Cabinet Secretariat, he helped in setting up of Government of India wide performance monitoring and evaluation system in the form of Results Framework Documents, RFDs. Also, he worked in various national and international academic institutions such as Administrative Staff College of India, where he was instrumental in developing the National Code of Good Governance and International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Topics, ICRISAT. Besides his wide range of administrative experience in environmental protection, social and sustainable development. With this very small and brief introduction, I now call upon Dr. Narendra Kumar sir to join us in this colloquium. We also request respected DDG in charge Director in Finance, Sri Shashibhushan sir, Additional Secretary MOPR, Dr. Chandrasekhar sir, for joining us in this colloquium. As you are aware, I don't know how many of you are aware, all the dignitaries sitting on the dais are ex-IIT veterans. They have all done something or other from IIT institutions. Like from IIT Delhi, our Director General DG, Dr. G. Narendra Kumar has done. FA from IIT Kanpur, and from IIT Mumbai, our Additional Secretary MOPR, and Ravi Babu also from IIT Roorkee. So we have very intellectuals on the dais. I now request.
A true welcome is never complete without warm words and warmer gestures. May I welcome our Deputy Director General, Shri Sashi Bhushan sir, to welcome the gatherings. Please, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Respected Secretary Sir, N.N. Sinha Sir, who has taken his time out from his busy schedule to grace this occasion. Respected DG Sir, respected Additional Secretary MOPR, Dr. Ravi Babu, representatives from SIRD and our faculty. I hope all the faculties are present here. So I want to welcome them to this 2 days national colloquium on collaboration of NIRD-PR with SIRD and Panchayati Raj institutions. So this 2-day colloquium, this is an annual feature for the institute. So in last 2 years, because of COVID, we were not able to do. So we look forward to this workshop that many meaningful things should be discussed. As we have seen in the last colloquium, many interesting points emerged. So one of the 250 cluster program, the program was envisaged in the last colloquium, which we are doing at present to strengthen the Panchayati Raj system in the country. So we look forward, and I think the 2-day workshop has been meaningfully designed to keep us occupied and come out with meaningful deliberations in the workshop. So I wish all the best for the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words. Now, I take the privilege to welcome our Director General, Dr. Narendra Kumar, to make a presentation on collaborative work between NIRD-PR and SIRD-PR. Please, sir.
Shri Nagendra Nath Sinha Ji, Secretary, Rural Development, Government of India. Additional Secretary, Ministry of Panchayati Raj, Shri Chandrasekhar Kumar. Deputy Director General, Shri Sashi Bhushan Ji, Dr. Ravi Babu, school heads of the NIRD-PR, center heads, faculty members, distinguished participants of this colloquium from different parts of the country, directors, secretaries, other faculty members of the SIRDs. At the outset, a very warm welcome to you to National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, and to this edition of the SIRD National Colloquium. I'd like to say that we've taken substantial efforts to try and make this colloquium forward-looking, to make the discussions in the colloquium participative, and to draw meaningful conclusions, results for the way forward from this conclusion. And we request you there to participate in the same spirit in this colloquium. So to outline some ways in which we can work and try to place this colloquium in perspective, we have here a short presentation. This is the revised vision of NIRD that we are working on to improve the quality of rural life in India. To have a broader frame of work for ourselves, and to emerge as an institute of national eminence and global excellence in rural development and Panchayati Raj. These are some of the core values we have set for ourselves in the National Institute of Rural Development. Next slide, please. A vision of NIRD PR is to be research-driven training and capacity building institution. Our focus has to be on research as well as capacity building. We want to focus on the entire knowledge spectrum, generating good research-based results which inform policy and also help NIRD discharge its function as a think tank, apply those good research results to program improvement, development of new programs and projects, and based on our applied knowledge, disseminate that successful knowledge to the various rural development, Panchayati Raj functionaries and other stakeholders through capacity building events. Thus, our work spans the entire knowledge spectrum of knowledge creation, knowledge application, and knowledge dissemination. This, as mentioned here, we take up through research studies, formulation of policies, programs, which impinge upon the flagship programs, and also to assess the effectiveness of the rural development policies. In doing all these things, NIRDPR not only would function as a capacity building institution, leading capacity building institution of the country, but also as a good think tank for the Government of India. SIRDs, on the other hand, are substantially involved in training and capacity building at the state and local levels, with coordination and support from the Ministry of Rural Development and NIRDPR. But we would like to see that the SIRDs also participate more strongly in the research, especially research relating to local issues, local needs, and trying to find local solutions. And also bringing out innovation, which can in turn impact national policy and national practice. NIRDPR, being an apex rural development capacity building organization, tries to mentor the SIRDs through the institution of the SLOs, state link officers, who are the link between the National Institute of Rural Development and the SIRD, as most of you would be aware. So SIRD's level work has to be span several levels at the policy level, at the sectoral level, and so on. And we want SIRDs to be at the cutting edge in capacity building, quality enforcement, cost effectiveness, and so on. NIRD mostly confines its work to the state level and on occasion to work at the district level because of our own limitations, I would say. Limitations of resources, limitations of not being able to reach to levels below the district because of the difficulties in handling languages, local language, and so on and so forth. Therefore, we confine our role primarily to programs at the state and occasionally at the district level. And we therefore will look to SIRDs to reach out to the district level and further down. So there are a lot of demands which are placed on NIRD and SIRDs also to reach to the last mile of functionaries, to last functionary, including the last elected representative in the Panchayati Raj. And there are a lot of challenges here. And that can only be possible through the SIRDs and also through the extension training centers, ETCs. 90 of them are there in the country. So they don't seem to be on the radar, on the map of our capacity building events. So this colloquium we want to discuss very in a focused manner as to how we can bring ETCs into our training and capacity building ecosystem so that we can more easily reach the last functionary who is required to be reached by the various stakeholders. NIRDPR, as many of you know, delivers its capacity building events in a cascading mode through the SIRDs. And one popular way of doing this is through the training of trainers, focusing on building the strengths of the faculty, and we expect the faculty in turn to organize various training programs based on NIRD developed curriculum, NIRD methods, and that way we try to reach across to the last mile. And the training of trainers are by way of induction training for the trainers in the SIRDs and refresher courses as well. So the key components of the SIRD courses obviously have to not only focus upon rural development and Panchayati Raj concepts, but also on the national flagship programs. NIRD also helps in the monitoring of the quality of training programs delivered by the SIRD. We try to have a rigorous quality-based training programs here, and we would like to expect the same thing to be done by the SIRDs. Typically, what we tell our faculty members is, let's not be stuck with one course for a very long time. We develop a new course and we run that course in NIRD for 2 or 3 cycles here, within that year or spanning a couple of years or so. After that, we would like to start involving the SIRDs in the delivery of our training program. And gradually, slowly, the programs would be delivered at the SIRDs, and as the program rolls on in the SIRD for 2 cycles or so, NIRD would like to exit and have the SIRD take over. Building upon this further, what we want to try now is to have multiple courses organized in different SIRDs simultaneously. Some sessions can be handled by the NIRD faculty, and other sessions can be handled by the SIRD faculty themselves, bringing out the local issues, local problems, local case studies, and so on, so that this is a good mix of both the national level content as well as the local level issues. So that's something we also want to discuss during the working group discussions which are slated during the course of this colloquium. Localization of SDGs is another issue, especially Mr. Chandrasekhar Kumar is present here. This is a matter of concern for the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. They want to take this forward in a big way. So we would also like to have SIRDs focus on this. Obviously, there are topics like gender mainstreaming, communication, attitude, etc. All these are also central. This is what our TNA findings say. Our TNA findings, which we conducted in association with the SIRDs, as well as the state level functionaries, the national level functionaries, bring out these aspects that the pedagogy that we have both in NIRD and SIRDs should be a mix of theory as well as exercises and field level work to make it more interesting, more practical, and more problem solving oriented. It's also been said that as many programs as possible should be delivered in the local languages. And in that direction, we've been requesting, and we would like to again place this request here, that lot of training materials developed by NIRD that we request should be converted into local languages. We are taking efforts to translate a number of these modules into Hindi, but the further translation into local languages has to be done by the SIRDs, and we request you to take that initiative. And the TNA also mentioned that we need to have cross-cutting themes such as gender mainstreaming, communication behavior, and etc. should be embedded in each training program. So accordingly, the SIRDs may also take this on board and try to conduct their own TNA, and meanwhile they may like to adopt some of these findings of the NIRD's TNA, because it draws upon opinions and views of the various SIRDs. And exposure visits are absolutely necessary. This is what the TNA has found, and SIRDs may also conduct the exposure visits. So this is about the TNA. The next one, please. Okay. One matter of concern for the ministry, which has been voiced to us time and again, is that some of the SIRDs are still to become autonomous. Therefore, we would like to request the SIRD directors to take up with their government to see that SIRDs become autonomous, just like NIRD, which gives great flexibility in the functioning, gives greater academic freedom. Those SIRDs which are yet to become autonomous, they are shown in yellow here, highlighted in yellow here. Next one, please. All this is based on the Alag committee recommendation, and this gives greater autonomy, helps us cater to the requirements, capacity building, training, and research in a better manner. Next. At the instance of the Ministry of Rural Development, NIRD developed an SIRD grading framework. Last year, we rolled it out in the form of an Excel sheet. And this year, we have a web app, which we are hoping to get it released shortly. And broadly speaking, the SIRD grading framework would cover these aspects: infrastructure, human resources, training, research, and so on. And this will help the SIRDs to judge themselves and rank themselves, rate themselves vis-a-vis the other SIRDs also. Making use of the COVID pandemic, NIRD launched a number of online courses, and we came up with an online portal of courses, both in rural development and Panchayati Raj. And this is the website of that portal called eGram Prashikshan. So there are about, I think, 69 courses on this. You may like to benefit from the courses here. And we would like to request SIRDs to contribute to the courses which can be hosted on this website. So you might have developed various online courses. You also might have benefited during the COVID pandemic, and those courses can be ported onto this platform. We request you to do the needful. Then we have developed some good IGOT courses, and some of the IGOT courses that have been developed are for SAGI, and another is for the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. So these are some snapshots of the IGOT courses developed by NIRD, and more courses are on the way. We request the SIRDs also to develop similar IGOT courses, and that will help the cause of rural development and Panchayati Raj capacity building efforts. NIRD has been at the forefront, not only in the online arena through IGOT and eGram Prashikshan, but we've also been working with other agencies like the UNICEF, developing a communication resource unit, and the communication research unit is developing state-wise customized content. That was earlier a regional unit. Now we have taken it national, and whatever content is developed for the 3 southern states here, that is now being taken national, and that content is being customized by the communication resource unit, and we request the SIRDs to support this communication resource unit to make the content specific to the local area requirements. And it would span these programs: Poshan Abhiyan, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, Integrated Child Development, Swachh Bharat Mission, COVID-related content. So it's been successful, very successful in southern states. Now we want to see that it succeeds all over the country. Next slide, please. In terms of the career opportunities for the SIRD faculty, NIRD has a fellowship program, and we would like to SIRD faculty to benefit from it. They can come on fellowship to NIRD, stay here for some time, learn from the faculty, work with the faculty, and come up to speed. We are in the process of revising our recruitment rules for the academic positions, and that's a mix of the UGC structure as well as the practitioners. We want to bring in a number of practitioners through our new recruitment rules to inform practice in rural development and Panchayati Raj. Efforts are on in that direction, and SIRDs may also like to model their recruitment rules on those lines, so that we have more practitioners participating in the capacity building training events as well as research. We also have opportunities for deputation and direct recruitment of practitioners. Some vacancies are coming up readily. At least 5 vacancies are in the pipeline. We'd like encourage SIRD faculty to apply for those positions. And like this colloquium, we keep on organizing various colloquiums. We had a WASH conclave, first national WASH conclave, which was very successful. It was organized with the UNICEF, is one of its kind. Then we have the state link officers who act as a bridge between the NIRDPR and the SIRDs. We would like to see that there is greater role for the state link officers with the SIRDs activities. Greater role in the sense that the state link officers are better informed about the activities of the SIRDs. And one good way we thought of the state link officers coming to know of the activities of the SIRD would be to either make them governing body members of the SIRDs, or at least call them as special invitees to the governing body meetings where most policies issues are discussed, the performance of the SIRD is monitored, and we can also bring in NIRD inputs and what NIRD can do for improvement of functioning of the SIRD. So that can all be facilitated if we have the SLOs involved in the governing body meetings. NIRD brings out every month a Pragati newsletter, and we wanted to dedicate a few pages in this Pragati newsletter to the SIRD activities. We've written to the SIRDs to contribute to this. Some SIRDs are contributing, others are not contributing so much. We'll encourage the SIRDs to contribute in increasing measure on various capacity building programs taken up by them, various local level initiatives taken up by them, so that they get wide coverage nationally. We have leading publication called the Journal of Rural Development, which is well regarded in academic circles. Recently, we have released the 40th year edition of the Journal of Rural Development, recapping some of the best articles which have been published in the JRT. And this, I believe, has been given as one of the materials in your kit. You may like to read it and benefit from it, and encourage faculty and others to contribute in larger measure to this agenda of rural development. Also, NIRD has got some centers which are aligned with the flagship programs of the ministry, such as the Center for Wage Employment and Labor, which is aligned with the MG Narega division. We have NRLM RC here, which is aligned with the Livelihoods division. We have a Center for Rural Infrastructure, which is aligned with the urban division, like that. So we have some of our centers which are aligned with the program divisions of the ministry, and we want that a point of contact should be evolved in the SIRDs also, who can work with our centers, and through that we can there can be two-way communication from NIRD to the SIRDs through these points of point of contact persons in a focused manner, so that we can have direct contact between the concerned center and the expert in that particular area in the SIRD. And there can also be other way communication, that the expert communicates their issues to the center in NIRD, and perhaps we will be able to communicate it to the program division in the ministry also. Next one, please. Yeah, these are some of the working groups that have been developed, and first one is an alignment of NIRD training calendar, which has been shared with you. This is there in this reference material that has been put in your kits, and we have very thoughtfully brought out this year's training calendar through a lot of reviews with the faculty, seeing that the programs are aligned with the requirements of the ministry, and also to discharge the think tank function of the NIRD to break the horizon in terms of new areas of work and demonstrate to the ministries as well as to the country that what doable initiatives could be there through various workshops, etc. So all these are there, and you may like to benefit from the training programs that NIRD is planning to organize. Also give us feedback on what you think really should be added by NIRD to this list of training programs, or what you think are irrelevant. Even that is useful to sort of chop off the deadwood programs and bring in new programs. So one session will be a discussion on the training calendar of NIRD and how it can be aligned with the SIRD PRs, and focusing on the local problems. So Dr. N.V. Madhuri and Dr. Vanishri Joseph from our CRTCN, they will be facilitating this discussion of this working group. Then, as I was mentioning to you, the extension training centers are outside our ambit. So how do we bring the extension training centers into the mainstream of our training and capacity building ecosystem, so that our reach is wider? Right now we're working through only 30 SIRDs. How can we manifold multiply our reach by engaging these 90 ETCs? And these ETCs can be handled both by SIRDs as well as by NIRDs to deliver the training programs. This working group will be facilitated by Dr. Ravi Babu. Then another key issue and a demand placed on us by our ministers, by various parliamentarians, that NIRD programs should reach the last mile, should reach every elected representative of this country. There are obviously a lot of difficulties and limitations in reaching that many number of elected representatives, because 250,000 panchayats into at least 12, let us say, elected representative of panchayat, that itself comes to almost 30 lakh functionaries to be trained every 5 years or so. So it is a major challenge that we cannot ourselves deal with. So we need help of a network of institutions. The network of institutions would be the SIRDs, ETCs. Additionally, we are now thinking of engaging with the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan higher education institutions, which are about 3,000 in number. How can we deliver our programs through the UBA institutions? Also engage with the NGOs wherever possible. So these are ways of reaching the last mile. So next group would discuss this, how do we reach the last mile on training, and this will be facilitated by Dr. Ramesh and Dr. A.K. Panja. Then process of empowering of resource persons and simultaneous training through multiple SIRDs, as I was mentioning. How can we quality control the programs of the SIRDs? Jointly, NIRD and SIRD peers bring out a particular training program. Part of that training program focusing on the national aspects can be dealt with by NIRD faculty. Local issues, local matters can be dealt with by the SIRD faculty. We can have the same program simultaneously conducted in at least 10 SIRDs is what we're looking at, because our typical strength in NIRD, SIRD is about 30 to 40. These are days when training programs are delivered in strengths of 400 to 500 simultaneously, be it in IITs, be it in medical colleges and other places. So of course it can little bit bring down the personal interaction, but that we want to correct by having multiple programs simultaneously and having good quality control. And the simultaneous conduct of programs will ensure that we have good quality as well as good reach. Then strengthening of SIRD PRs, that's an ongoing and running theme that will be facilitated by Dr. M. Srikanth. The other one on the empowering resource persons and simultaneous training will be facilitated by Dr. Kathiresan, who is also head of our Center for Information and Communication Technologies. So this is what it is. Broadly, this is the fair, and we have a number of things coming up. We have the presentations by the additional secretaries of Panchayati Raj and Rural Development on strategic directions in the rural development and Panchayati Raj sector, so that you know what are the focus areas for the ministries and try to align our programs in tandem with that. We have the International Women's Day celebrations today, and part of it is embedded here in this colloquium. Then there's discussions on the training needs assessment. Then we have presentation of best practices by SIRD PRs, and also the presentations of the working groups which will guide our future course of work. We have taken diligent efforts to act on the recommendations of the previous SIRDs. A number of meetings have been held by our faculty, and we made substantial progress in implementing the recommendations of the previous SIRD colloquium, and we are headed further in taking them to their logical and final conclusion. And I wish all the participants of this colloquium very happy participation and gainful conclusions from the colloquium. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DG sir, for briefing us the activities of NIRD PR and what expectations we have from SIRDs and where exactly we can collaborate. Thanks for briefing the agenda for the 2 days, what we have planned in this colloquium. And with this now, we request all the dignitaries, participants of this colloquium to introduce themselves. They can say their name and state they represent and the activities they are involved in. So let us start from left. Can you please pass on the mic?
I, Rajendra Singh, Additional Director, Indira Gandhi Panchayat Raj Sansthan, Jaipur, and SID, Rajasthan.
Which is Rajasthan.
Sir, good morning to all of you. I'm Srikanth, faculty at NIRD PR, working for Center for Entrepreneurship Development and Financial Inclusion.
Good morning, sir. I am J. Murali, Director, SIRD, AP. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Dr. Mallinath Kalshetti, Deputy Director General and Director, SIRD, Yashoda, Pune.
Good morning, I am PC Misra, Director SIRD Chhattisgarh.
Namaskar, I am Saroj Das, Joint Director SIRD Odisha.
Namaskar, my name is Dilip Kumar Pal. I am the project team leader for the projects for creating model GP clusters across India.
Good morning, sir. I am Bala Murali. I am Commissioner for Rural Development, Government of Kerala.
Good morning, I am Rakesh Ranjan, Deputy Director, DDU SIRD, UP, Lucknow.
Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. D.C. Upadhyay, Additional Director, SIRD UP.
Good morning, all. This is S.W. Bagang, a faculty member from Arunachal Pradesh SIRD.
Good morning, sirs. I am Habung Lampung, Director, SIRD Arunachal Pradesh.
Good morning, sir. I am Dr. Peter Miraj, Associate Professor Kila, which is also acting as SIRD of Kerala.
Good morning, sir. I am Matthew Andrews, Assistant Director in charge of trainings in Keela.
Good morning, sir. I am Vishal Mukhia, Director, SIRD Sikkim.
Good morning to all. Myself KV Satyanarayana, Executive Director, DDVGKV Resource Cell at NIRD.
Good morning all. Myself Digambar Chimankar, Associate Professor, Center for Wage Employment and Livelihoods, NIRDPR.
Good morning all. I am Padmashekar Pandey, working at NISRD, Mysore, Karnataka.
Good morning, sir. I am Subrat Misra, Associate Professor, National Institute of Rural Development at Panchayat Raj.
Good morning to everybody. I am Pavitra Kolita, Joint Director, SIPRD Assam.
Good morning, sir. I am Amit Kumar Kaur. I am Joint Director, SIPRD Assam.
Good morning, sir. I am Samuel Nbudurai, Director, SIRD Tamil Nadu.
Good morning, sir. I am Dilip Kumar from SIRD Manipur.
Good morning, sir. My name is Olokendra Singh, Joint Director, SIRD Manipur.
Good morning, sir. I am Orpita Chaudhary. I am from SIRD Tripura.
Good morning, all. This is Akanksha Shukla, Associate Professor, NIRDPR, and also SLO, Punjab.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ramesh. I work for NIRDPR.
Good morning, all. I am Sucharita, Assistant Professor, Center for PG Studies, NIRD, and SLO, Sikkim.
Namaskar, sir. I am Dr. Satya Ranjan, working as Assistant Professor in Center for Equity Social Development, NIRDPR. I am also SLO to Jharkhand. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Jyotish, Professor at NIRDPR and SLO to Kerala.
Good morning, all. I am Dr. Dheeraja, working with the Center for Social Audit and the Center for Wage Employment and Livelihood.
Good morning, all. My name is Alma Doling. I'm Senior Faculty Member, SIRD Meghalaya, representing Director, SIRD Meghalaya.
Good morning, all. I am I Lungkumar, Additional Director, SIRD Nagaland.
Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Paula Konyak, Joint Director, SIRD Nagaland.
Good morning, sir. I am Narendranath Rao, Joint Director, Telangana SIRD, sir.
Good morning, good morning, sirs. I am Srikanth Reddy, Joint Director and Center Head, Center for Decentralized Planning and Administration, Telangana SIRD. Thank you.
So good morning, everyone. Myself A.K. Bhanja. I am working with NIRDPR as faculty. I am also SLO for Odisha. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. I am Ravindra Gavli. I am school head for the School of Sustainable Development and also School of Rural Livelihoods and Infrastructure. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all. I am Devapriya, Associate Professor, Center for PG Studies, NIRDPR. Thank you.
Good morning, all. I am H.K. Solanki, Faculty Member in Center for Rural Infrastructure, NIRDPR.
Good morning. I am Dr. R. Aruna Jayamani, Assistant Professor, Center for Good Governance and Policy Analysis, NIRDPR.
Good morning, all. I am Dr. Pratyushna Patnaik, Assistant Professor in the Center for Panchayat Raj. I am SLO for Uttarakhand.
Good morning, all. I am Dr. Nitya, working in Center for Agrarian Studies. I am SLO Karnataka.
Good morning, one and all. I am Sonal Mobar Roy, Assistant Professor, Center for Postgraduate Studies and Distance Education, NIRDPR.
Good morning, all. This is Suren Prajapati, Faculty Member, SIRD, Madhya Pradesh.
Good morning, sir. I am S.K. Sacha, Deputy Director, SIRD, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh.
Good morning all. I am Dr. Kadiresan, Associate Professor, NADPR.
This is PP Sahu, NADPR and SLO to Rajasthan. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. This is Venkat Mallu, Research Officer, NADPR.
Good morning all. I am Dr. Lakhan Singh, Assistant Professor in Center for Human Resource Development and State Link Officer for Uttar Pradesh.
Good morning all. I am Surjit Vikraman, Associate Professor, Center for Agrarian Studies, NADPR. Thank you very much.
Good morning all. Myself Dr. Prabhakar, working in the Center for Good Governance and Policy Analysis and SLO of Madhya Pradesh. Thank you.
Good morning to you all. I am Dr. Prasad, Faculty and IDPR. Thank you.
Good morning to you all. I am Rajeshwar, Assistant Professor and SLO to Jammu and Kashmir.
Good morning all. I am Dr. Keshava Rao, Center Head for the Sea Guard, NADPR.
Good morning to you all. I am U. Hemant Kumar, Center for Internal Audit in Rural Development. I am also SLO for Andhra Pradesh.
Good morning all. This is Madhusudan, Consultant, Center for Panchayat Raj, NADPR. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Mohammad Taqiyuddin, Consultant, Center for Panchayat Raj, NIAD.
Thank you, one and all. We welcome all once again for this colloquium, representatives of SARDs and state governments, the Director Generals and Directors, heads and senior faculty members representing SARDs across India, Director NARC and every other faculty members who are joining us online through video conferencing, professors and heads of all centers of NADPR and state link officers of NADPR and all other faculty members and staff of NADPR. Ladies and gentlemen, we now going to have a release of SARD and PR grading web-based application, STMS, SRMS, and translation of books from official language, guidelines and methodology for time and motion studies under MGNREGS, training manual of biodiversity governance, manual on farmer producer organizations, etc. by the Secretary Rural Development who was joined us online. He's going to release it online. Secretary, sir, if we can officially declare that these are released. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let it be.
Secretary, sir, would like to have your permission to the launch of the books which we are launching, sir, the Hindi versions of some of our training material. Secretary, sir, we would like to have your permission for releasing some of the Hindi versions of our training material, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yes, next. Yeah, okay, okay. Translation of books from official language, guidelines and methodology for time and motion under MGNREGS, training manual on biodiversity governance, farmer producer organizations. So, thanks for giving us the permission to release under your able guidance, sir. And we now request you to interact with our delegates and give us inaugural address. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes.
Please go ahead, sir.
So, so let me structure it like this. Let me first express my thoughts, and thereafter we can have discussions with the delegates, faculty members, and colleagues. So first of all, let me greet you on the occasion of the National Colloquium of State Secretaries of RD and PR, heads of SIRD and PRs, and colleagues from the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, from the NIRD and PR, and all the guests present on this occasion, either offline or online. I think it's a great effort on the part of the NIRD and PR to have organized this colloquium, which was unfortunately somewhat on a subdued mode during the COVID period that we had. So revival of this tradition would go a long way, furthering the organic linkages that the NIRD and PR has created with the SIRD and PRs and ETCs for the common goal of furthering rural development. It's very important for all of us to recognize that because of the diversity of the country and the kind of institutional structure that we have, which is a federal setup, there is a large role, in fact, indeed the primary role has to be played by the state government. However, there is a very large role of the national government as well in terms of setting standards, devising programs, developing content, carrying out research, and all of that, which was very aptly outlined by the DG and IRD and PR in his excellent address. When I was in the state government in Jharkhand, I was often thinking as to how to organize the training organizations of the state government. As most of colleagues would be aware that there are two principal foci of the training in the state. One that relates to the what we typically call as the administration, public administration, or the Academy of Administration and things like that. And the other one focuses on the various developmental functions. There is another foci, but for the moment, let's concentrate on these foci. What usually happens is that there is this SIRD and PR, you have the ETCs, you have Panchayat Raj training institutions, you have cooperative training institutions, you have MSME training institutions. So it is not that the states by themselves lack a number of training institutions. If you start counting them, there is a large number of such training institutions. However, what we usually feel and what I felt in state of Jharkhand, that the training organizations and training activities both do not come together in order to deliver a comprehensive package of training. So I think at this moment, while we strengthen our linkages with the SIRD and PR and ETCs and follow the agenda that has been very ably laid down by DG and IRD and PR. I request you on this occasion to kindly take this message that the state governments also need to kindly consider if organizing all of the training institutions in form of few foci of training would be helpful or not. In my opinion, this is one agenda which we need to carry out, and doing that would not only bring the coherence between the different sectors of the rural development and ensure that the strength of different institutions in the state governments are fully utilized, and each one of us learn from the capacities and competencies developed in different training institutions. I would request colleagues from the SIRD and PR to take this message to their state governments. I think I'll request NIRD and PR to also kindly reflect and maybe work in a state or two to see if we could probably organize the training, entire training activities in form of few such foci, one of which should concentrate on the rural development and allied sectors. So that is one issue which I thought might be important for the states to kindly pay attention to. The other area which I would like to bring to your notice is the issue of the large number of need for one to have not only the induction training programs but also the in-service and orientation training programs. This was also clearly laid down by Dr. Narendra Kumar. Now, what usually happens is that we do not pay much attention to induction. The in-service training programs are often not organized. And I think both of these need to be organized if we really want to take best out of our own HR. As we are all aware that the state governments and indeed the central government also is groaning with the HR costs of the government. Numbers I would like to put out, but many places the HR costs are now getting prohibited. So it is in our interest that we take the best out of whatever HR that we have and make our colleagues at the cutting edge level multi-skilled, multi-competent, having multiple competencies and being able to multitask, being able to use IT tools and having such competencies. And if we are to do that, such kind of training programs would be extremely essential, and I'll again request colleagues from the state government to kindly pay attention to this aspect as well. And Narendra to also from the NIRD PR argue and advocate for ensuring that such kind of training programs are organized, which would not only mean that the training programs for people working as the BDOs are organized, but also people who are working as supervisors, people who are working as extension workers, etc., are also organized. A light thought on this occasion is the issue of developing competencies of the contract workers. And I think a large number of workers have come into the rural development sector as the contract workers. One example is like the Gram Rozgar Sevak. And you have a large number of Gram Rozgar Sevaks. If you think there is for implementation of the Mahatma Gandhi Narega, you have to have one Gram Rozgar Sevak in each Gram Panchayat. Although there are vacancies, but if we take a number, if you put a number to this, I think this number would not be less than about 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh in the country. But what do we do when it comes to taking work out of them? We simply give them out a contract and expect them to deliver. So that is where the efficiency of the program implementation is getting compromised, and despite our best efforts, we are not able to get as much output as possible. Now, each one of the programs, including the Mahatma Gandhi Narega or the initiatives of the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, etc., are all launching out new features every now and then. But if the grassroots functionary is not able to appreciate what has been put out, I think it's not going to work with as much efficiency as it should. So I think one of the focus of our actions should also be to thinking about the ways in which we could skill this kind of functionaries who are now forming a large part of our own setup. One way in which I have been trying to encourage my colleagues to work on the Mahatma Gandhi Narega front is the utilization of the online video courses like eGram Swaraj or on iGot for the Gram Rozgar Sevak, and people who are first appointed, they are appointed on a provisional basis, and once they are able to perform satisfactorily on the assessment of their appreciation of their own role and the knowledge of the sector that they should have in order to perform that role, then contract should be finalized or confirmed. And if we are put this kind of a framework with support being extended by the NIRD and PR and SIRD and PR for running of these online courses and support for those who are unable to appreciate these and need further assistance, so then we would also be in a position to skill our contractual manpower and probably have a much better efficient and more efficient implementation. My colleagues have mentioned about the issues of the HR, the SIRD and PR. I think the role of the SIRD PR cannot be performed if you don't have HR. And again, I draw from my intimate knowledge of the state of Jharkhand. There, I see that the institution has been running on contractual faculty members. Their terms are also not improved. The permanent faculty is not appointed. And if things continue this way, in what manner can the SIRD and PR perform? I think it's very important for us to ensure that permanent faculties are appointed. And the profile of the SIRD and PR enhanced and increased. One of the thoughts which I had shared with EG, NIRD and PR and colleagues, that once we are able to finalize the grading exercise, we should make a wide publicity of the grading that the SIRD and PR has been able to obtain. Provide explanatory note in our communication to the state governments that this is the reason why SIRD and PR has been able to get a low grading, and that this is the roadmap which the state government can adopt if they want to go up. And also lay down very clearly the fact that in absence of the strengthening of the SIRD and PR and the associated ecosystem, it is very difficult for the rural development activities to or the rural development to pick up. Therefore, the state government must pay attention to that. Another associated thought that comes to me, and this is a issue and a dilemma of the state governments. As was mentioned by Easy, that there are many institutions which are not autonomous, and I think the state governments need to appreciate that autonomous institutions are in a much better position not only to conduct the training programs but also adopt a wider set of instruments for management of their own training program, and also raise resources from implementation of various assignments like consultancies, sponsored training programs, publication of books, periodicals, and things like that. So I would feel that the SIRD and PR and should all of them should convert to autonomous institutions, and just because they have become autonomous, it should not provide occasion or a trigger to the state government to bring down the funding. This is also a trend which I have seen at many other places. So I would request the representatives of the state governments to kindly bring this to the notice of the state government, and DG and IRDPR should also write to chief secretaries, and I will also follow it up in my own communications once DG writes to the state governments on this issue. The issue of many centers developing as centers of excellence is one issue which the NIRD and PR has been espousing for quite some time. And I've been told that 6 of the centers have been identified as the centers of excellence where in addition to NIRD and PR, those institutions can also organize a lot of training activities in their area of focus. I think it should be our ambition for all the SIRD and PR to develop one area or the other as their areas of competency, and we can do it on a regional basis as well. For example, all the institutions in the northeastern region can working together as identify and divide among themselves the areas on which they would like to focus, and similar area of focus could be chosen by SIRD and PR in different parts of the country. That is extremely essential because for a large country like this, the NIRD and PR is indeed the nodal and hub of the entire training, capacity building, research movement within the country. But we want spokes to be equally strong, and I think regional nodes or regional foci in different areas is what we should want. Then only the rural development would be put on a very strong pedestal to move forward and be in a position to derive as much ground level feedback and indeed impregnation of the grassroots thoughts and experiences into our own working and functioning. So I would indeed encourage the state governments and SIRD and PRs to choose their areas of focus and work on them for developing excellence in those areas. I also suggest to the SIRD and PR that gone are the days in which we should and we could work in our own ivory towers, away from the universities, away from the NGOs, away from the CSOs. As was mentioned by DG NIRD and PR, that the association with the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan academic institutions and NGOs is one area which we should focus on. So I request SIRD and PR to also get into this act. So you have UBA institutions, you have university departments working in different areas which pertain to the rural development. And then let's choose areas of collaboration with them. While they may not do much of the applied thing by way of training and advocacy that you might be in a position to do, but they can do a good amount of research on the monitoring, evaluation, conceptual frameworks, etc. Of different programmatic activities that are being done. So that would be important area of activity which the SIRD and PR should think of organizing. For example, let's take one example. How is the assetization activity of the Mahatma Gandhi Narega functioning in the interest of the poor? Are we generating livelihood? So these are the questions that we are asking, and but these are also the questions which the master's students or PhD students of different universities can take up. So SIRD and PR should indeed become a kind of hubs for organizing such kind of interinstitutional linkages at the state level, focusing on the theme of rural development, poverty, and by rural development, I am not meaning merely the rural development programs, but a large variety of things which impinge on the rural development, be they education or drinking water or health or sanitation or institutional development or access to credit. So many of such things would indeed be covered. So I request the institutions, the SIRD and PR to kindly work on these areas as well of forging linkages with the universities, academic institutions, CSOs, and kind of developing networks for thought and action in these areas. One area which I would again like to mention is the strong linkage between what you train people for and the way in the programs are, way in which the programs are being organized and implemented. What usually happens, and particularly at the state level, is that the SIRD and PRs are reduced to an appendage in the sense that they are only organizing training programs but not watching as to how the programs are themselves being implemented. So forging a linkage between the implementation of the programs and the organization of the SIRD and PR activities is in another area which the SIRD and PR should focus upon and let that be very live kind of linkage so that the state governments and the departments and the program implementing agencies come to you for solving some of those issues, particularly relating to capacity building as a live area of activity to you. And I'm sure the SIRD and PR can provide that support. One of the challenges that we have faced, and I think there is not adequate appreciation of the fact of the role of the ministries in promoting the training and capacity building activities in the state government through SIRD and PR networks. So I would also request the SIRD and PRs to also kind of organize advocacy and awareness about the role that you are playing and the support that you are receiving from the Ministry of Rural Development. So at the highest and rarefied atmosphere of policy making, there is insufficient appreciation of this fact. So if positive stories come out as to how the SIRD and PR have been able to make changes to the entire ecosystem of program implementation, that would go a long way in continuing to seek the attention of the higher levels of policy making. So I think this colloquium would go a long way in kind of reviving the links that were somewhat reset or maybe had gone down during the COVID period, and I'm sure the deliberations in this colloquium would be quite helpful for all the parties, for the NIRD and PR, for the ministry and ministries, as well as the SIRD and PR and indeed the state government. And I think through this dialogue, we will, with our own collective efforts, be in a position to strengthen the entire system and indeed the effectiveness of the rural development in the country. You gave me an opportunity of addressing you, and I'm indeed grateful for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Sir, for sharing your valuable insights and showing us the way forward and laying path to focus on micro-level management implementation strategies, how to go about further with SIRDs to meet the objectives of RD and PR. So on behalf of NIRDPR and SIRDPRs, we extend thanks to Secretary Sir for joining us in this colloquium, and we promise to live up to your expectations, sir. Thank you very much. Moving forward, we'd like to hear expectations of MOPR from Dr. Chandrasekhar Kumar ji. Before I invite him to speak, I would like to introduce him. I take the privilege to introduce Dr. Chandra Kumar. Dr. Chandrasekhar Kumar is a 1992 batch IAS officer from Odisha cadre, held coveted positions in government of Odisha. Before joining the central government, Dr. Kumar was serving as the Odisha State Warehousing Corporation OSWC as chairman. In the union government, he served as joint secretary at the cabinet secretariat. He is now serving as additional secretary to the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, Government of India. Dr. Kumar has completed his BTech from IIT Mumbai and PhD from Cornell University, New York. So we welcome you, sir, with this very small and brief introduction. We now would like to hear from you on expectations from MOPR. Thank you, sir.
Very good morning to all. Respected Secretary RD Sri N.K. Sinha ji, respected DG Sri Dr. G. Narendra Kumar ji, esteemed colleagues from NIDPR, esteemed colleagues from various SIRDs, state governments, and ladies and gentlemen. So, at the outset, I express my sincere gratitude to DG and all his colleagues for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to sharing my thoughts on way forward on how the SIRDs and the states can play a very critical role in reaching out to the last mile. So on that actually now as Ministry of Panchayati Raj is seriously working on SDG goals. So as you are all aware, these SDG goals are not very new things. So in earlier avatar, it was Millennium Development Goals since 2000. And in 2015, I think the SDG goals were taken up to further intensify it, to make it more focused and reach out to the people. And in that endeavor, I think all the state governments are working in some way or other. And Government of India, various ministries are working also in some other. So it's not a new thing that we are trying to do. So it is just a way to push things slightly in a more focused way with involvement of SIRD and slight orientation of NIRDPR, SIRDs and state governments to get it more focused so that the result becomes more effective and the involvement, more so the involvement of people is there. And also before that, the participation and convergence of ministries. There, you know that there are various flagship programs are there, and all are being implemented in various sectors. So, so then there is nothing new. So that's this presentation of 10-15 minutes. I will be just going through it and request your indulgence in that. So you know there are 17 goals on the in SDG goal, and India has commitment to achieve most of the goal by 2030 in a graded manner. And there are almost in those 17 goals are 169 targets. And please go to next slide. So basically what is happening, because now those 17 goals are slightly very amorphous and slightly were not able to focus. So we tried it to make more focus by compacting by in 9 themes. So actually Government of India formed a committee under chairmanship of Mrs. Raghunandan in Tamil Nadu ACS and more committee members, and they come out with a document which was launched by Honorable Minister Panchayati Raj in the month of December. And so these are the 9 themes actually consisting of all those 17 goals. So the first is the poverty-free and enhanced livelihood village. The second is healthy village. The third is child-friendly village, and in where if you see water sufficient, clean, green. So basically one theme may consist of 2-3 SDG goals. So that's how we plan to do. Next please. So basically it is the whole of government approach has already come in the DG's presentation and the Secretary RD presentation. Now the silos has to go. The government and always Honorable Prime Minister always say that all the ministries, this silo should go and they should work together. The data should be shared, their plans should be there, and in very easy language, it should be made understood to the people. And the best way to the reach to the people is, we all know, is the 3-tier Gram Panchayati Sanstha, the Gram Sabhas. So we have almost more than 100 flagship programs, and they are implemented. To make it to reach to the people, a time has come to make it in a very simple language, making the local language, now which is today in a colloquium, that is also one of the very important agenda, to reach it to the last mile in the local language. So working together with central ministries, states, and academic institutions, civil societies, various UN agencies also. Next please. So far what we have done, we have found various committees activity-wise how to really make it operational. So, so there are 9 thematic-wise. Now NIRDPR has been requested to launch the TOT, and I have seen in the program today that they have already been programmed. But before those TOT, the NIRDPR launches, the proper training materials, training manuals has to come. So so for that we have formed 9 thematic committees, and they will be working for developing the training manuals. By end of I think this month or by April midweek, those training manuals will be ready. And DG and the KILA is taking anchoring role, and where NIRDPR will also be playing very important role in everything. So these training manuals will help us in carrying forward. There. Next, please. So here I want to inform the SRDs. You have also very important role because most of the SRDs are put in the some committee. So to give your views, to give your opinion, and play active role in so that the training manuals come up very nicely in a very simple language. They should be basically operational, hands-on approach. They should just say the flagship programs of Government of India or Government of States, so that people understand how what is the role they can play in there. Further to carry now, see the planning has, as you know, that we are preparing our GPDP since last so many years, and but so far our experience is that the convergence is not coming. Only 3-4 ministries program resource envelope is coming. So for this year, our goal is that at least those 9 SDG, 9 themes, their resource envelope has to come. So you have SRD, I request kindly look into this. If you start working from now, so when we launch our PPC campaign in August, so we have enough time to get the resource envelope of those 9 themes. And the beginning point is that we should get data for all these data from the ministries. So we are already in discussion with various central ministries. First round of meetings with our ministries has been almost completed. Our NIC team and their NIC teams have been authorized to get the data on web-based service. And what will happen that we'll try to auto-populate the flagship programs directly in the GPDP. But from the state government SIRD, they have to further work and see that their state programs also get placed in their GPDP. Because unless until, see, if you make a plan and you see that this is a plan of panchayat, and if their education plan is not there, health plan is not there, drinking water plan is not there, then just by making plan of OSR, making plan of finance commission, and making a plan of Manrega doesn't help. It doesn't help us, it doesn't help people. And the rural people have no idea what is happening. Some person, district level officers, they just go and implement some program, and no involvement is there. And so we are implementing the programs, but the involvement of people and involvement of the elected representatives, involvement of all stakeholders, the frontline workers, that has to be there. So the first beginning point is that the knowledge come through the data. So that is we have already formed a committee and they are working on that. Then also as discussed, we will be restructuring the whole format of GPDP as discussed, because GPDP has to, this LSDG cannot be implemented in vacuum. This LSDG will be implemented only through a proper GPDP. So if a proper planning is made, then only implementation comes. If the base is good, then only superstructure can be good. Then we have formed also a committee to develop the Panchayat Development Index, as DG and Secretary RD has told, that we should have some mechanism to give the feedback, how the panchayats are performing, how the states are performing on various key parameters. And that's why this Panchayat Development Index will give a comprehensive performance index of the functioning of the panchayat, of the functioning of the various flagship programs of the ministries, of the performance of the various departments also. So it is in one place we can see whether the resources are really converging and whether the desired outcome we are getting or not. So this is the PDI, and so they will also, so this all will be implemented through the GPDP. Then already a committee has been formed to develop the revise our national capacity building framework, so that the training and all accordingly organized. And as I discussed already, thematic training materials have been anchored by KILA and NIRDPR. So NIRDPR is playing a very active role, and all TOT training will be organized by NIRDPR. Next slide please. So there are almost 14 to 15 central ministries involved in the LSDG. We have almost completed first round of meeting with all those ministries: education, health, drinking water, sanitation, RD, animal husbandry, fishery, WCD, and other departments, and all are very we got a very encouraged response. to get their resources, get their training. We also trying to get their training institutes used. The various ministries have got huge training institutes, so all those training institutes can be put rather than establishing de novo training institutes everywhere. So we should try to use the training institutes of education department, health department, agriculture department, RD with PR only, fishery department, animal husbandry department, and many other WCD and drinking water. So there should be complete convergence. Already huge facilities are there. So all this resource mapping has to be made. All those training institutes, their faculties, and they should also be roped in. Their also capacity building should also be a part of this program. And each SDG goal wise for monitoring, the local indicator framework is also being developed. And already we have requested RD department in their Mission Antyodaya survey, how these local indicators, there are almost 300 local indicators are there. So all they are also mapped in Mission Antyodaya parameters. As Mission Antyodaya survey which will be shortly launched in this year. So we have already requested RD ministry to take account that all these LIF parameters also be part of the Mission Antyodaya survey, so that the GPDP takes account of the baseline. So we get a baseline. So this is the present level of various indicators, the SDG goal wise. And then we can have a plan, or 2-year plan, 5-year plan, or vision, each panchayat, where to go actually from this baseline. So already this, the Mission Antyodaya survey, we have requested Secretary RD. And so next please. So this interministerial convergence is taking shape. In the first round of meeting is done. So now we will be shortly issuing a joint advisory from our secretary and the concerned secretary to the counterpart secretaries. And the purpose is that the message reaches to the last mile. The concerned secretary in the state government, they also write letter to the last panchayat, the district level authorities, block level, so that all ministries at the block level, panchayat level, their frontline workers, they really work, their participation in the Gram Sabha really improves. And of course, as data sharing is the baseline, is the critical part of operationalizing this LSDG. And for that ministry, we are already in serious discussion with all the ministries. And I expect the similar role from all the state governments and societies, because the data sharing is critical. Unless until we have data on each flagship programs, their resource envelope, their beneficiary, their assets, we can't be having any idea where we want to go. So that is the critical part. Next, please. And expected roles of states, already our secretary has written a letter to the chief secretaries to ensure that a steering committee in the states are formed under chief secretary or a very senior additional chief secretary or planning division development commissioner, consisting of all these 9 thematic departments, so that they work in tandem. And advisory, and those advisories to be issued by the line departments, the districts, to the from the secretary to the district level, block level, and GP level for effective participation in the Gram Sabha and for the GPDP preparation, and of course with the database. And so that part is covered. Implementation mechanism, mapping, I think I have discussed all those things, so I will not repeat this. 2 things I will say here. Next please. On 14th April, the Ambedkar Jayanti advisory is going, that all states are being requested to kindly ensure a Gram Sabha and have a first, the basic awareness among the panchayats of all these 9 LSDG themes. So the SIRDs here are requested to kindly prepare in local language the leaflets, a small 1-2 page leaflets, so that people are made aware that these are the 9 LSDG goals which are going to be implemented. So you aware. And when we celebrate our 24th April, the National Panchayat Divas, on that day, at least every panchayat should take sankalp for at least one of the LSDG goal which they should work for the coming year. So we know that because the panchayats have got serious, severe restrictions, limitations on the resources, on the manpower. So all the LSDG, all the 9 themes cannot be implemented in one way by all the panchayats. So based on their own inherent strength, the panchayats, if the panchayat is doing already well in the drinking water and only 30-40% to be left out, then they can say that okay, in the next 1 year we'll saturate. So saturation approach. Honorable Prime Minister always say, let us saturate our villages in all the things. So let's follow the saturation model. So we can, in the first instance, if you are doing well in a theme and if only 30-40% left out, so let us take sankalp for that theme, that in next 1 year we'll do, it's not that you will not be doing in other parts, but this, the focused approach will be taking one theme. If you are doing on health part, healthy village, and you can think that in 1 or 2 year we can, with concerted effort of everyone, we can make our village really healthy in every aspect. So take the sankalp of making your village healthy in next 1 year. So this is for 9 themes. So on 24th April also, please take get that sankalp divas organized. Also for that, what I request all SIRD, kindly take opportunities to organize a poster competition, a debate competition, essay competition in the panchayats, in the schools, and get good posters prepared by the people only, and put those posters displayed in the panchayat or in the villages. So those posters can be worked out by the people, by the local colleges, by the local high schools, by the local training institutes. So there, so that way you can galvanize the participation of everyone in the last mile. So, so rather than preparing a poster in SIRD and preparing a poster in NIRD and sending to the state government to send to the panchayats, rather let us follow a bottom-up approach. Let the posters should be prepared in the village itself, in the panchayat itself, and those posters should be displayed. So at least let SIRDs should please organize those poster competition. So on all the 9 themes, and you give some award to them. So if you get some good posters, best poster, the SIRD should give some recognition. So this is the best poster on healthy village. This is best poster on the clean village. This is the best poster on green village. So something like that. So those, so next 1 month, so SIRDs can start organizing on those things. And also we have to, slowly as we go, the more we get the data, the panchayat should start preparing their vision roadmap, what should be the vision for the next 1 year or 2 year or 5 year, and the long-term vision. Basically, the purpose is the whole of government approach and the saturation approach. 2 things are the important, which Honorable Prime Minister always stresses: whole of government approach and the saturation. So we should start saturating in one respect and keep on going and saturate the villages in these aspects in the coming 3-4 years. Next, please. And capacity building and training is the critical part, which you will be spending next 2 days here only on these things. So I will not be elaborating much on that. And IDPR is going to play a very critical role on training of trainers. Already NIRDPR has written all the states to sponsor the TOT, the name of the potential trainers, thematic wise, so that they can be, and the one in the cascading, when they get training here, they can go back and prepare the district trainers. So I request the SIRD kindly sponsor the list of your master trainers thematic wise. So we are asking around 5 to 6 master trainers every theme. So small estates it is 5, and major estates like it is 8 to 10. So if you not identified, I request, I take this opportunity, get the master trainers identified and kindly sponsor the name to NIRDPR, so that they can start preparing. Because already the training manual I told, the 9 thematics, they will start working in from the 2nd week of March. Next, please. And role of NIRDPR, they are going to play a very important role, right from all TOT, the district trainer also. They will be visiting the states and giving as much hand-holding support to the states which are requiring. And some states are doing well, they can carry on. And they can also be role model for other states also. And NCBF also, NIRDPR is a member on the NCBF, and NIRDPR is a member on the various thematic committees also. So I think next 2 months, 2-3 months, there is a very busy calendar is going to be for NIRDPR in this regard. And expected role of panchayats, as already I have discussed, leaflets, posters, 14th April Gram Sabha for the general awareness on those 9 themes. 24th April we have to take a sankalpa on one of the themes. Next, please. And to give it a more focused, already organizing regional workshops. The first regional workshop is already over. The second regional workshops is on the 11th, and 3rd and 4th regional workshop will cover other states also. So that is one full day workshop where we are hearing the states basically. What is the level of their preparedness in launching the goals basically on these parameters only. So very soon on 11th, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, Andaman, Nicobar, we are going, and basically on those that we will be hearing the principal secretaries their level of preparedness. So next please. And dashboard is, as we know, it has to be, nothing can move without data, and data should be very accessible. It should be accessible to everyone, so that informed decision can be taken, and the data should help in monitoring. Next please. And GPDP I have discussed, so I will not go further. Next please. So, why we are trying on LSDG? See, so far our experience is not very encouraging. The participation of the line departments in Gram Sabhas, you can see from yourself, and we are all SID, you know. So this practice cannot go for all the time to come. Now we have almost, after third this constitutional amendment, almost 25 years we will be attending, and so now this participation has to increase. It can't be only 15% or 10% लोग उनके फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर ग्राम सभा में आ रहे हैं एंड वो GPDP बन रहा है, तो GPDP क्वालिटी बन नहीं रही है ना. तो इट्स बेटर टू स्पेंड 6 months टाइम राइट नाउ एंड गेट ए गुड GPDP रादर देन हैविंग ए रिचुअल कि GPDP बनाना है तो भाई बना लो, वो 10-15 लोग आए तो कुछ भी डिस्कस करके कोई SR का डाल दो. और सो आई थिंक वी शुड हैव टू गेट रीड ऑफ दैट इनर्शिया. सो वी हैव टू फोकस, वी हैव टू वर्क राइट फ्रॉम राइट नाउ. अभी भी टाइम है, अभी तो 6 महीने से अगर हम काम करेंगे तो जब नेक्स्ट GPDP हमारा अच्छा बनना चाहिए, और वो सारी LSDG की मैपिंग होनी चाहिए. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. सो ये रिसोर्स मैपिंग है, देखिए कि इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ आ नहीं रहा है, तो 2 ही 3 चीज़ क्या रही है. तो केवल 15 फाइनेंस कमीशन की आती है, थोड़ी बहुत SR की आती है, थोड़ी बहुत मनरेगा की आती है, और जो लोगों की जो इंपॉर्टेंट है वो चीज़ दिख नहीं रही है. एजुकेशन की नहीं दिखती है, हेल्थ की नहीं दिखती है, आपकी ड्रिंकिंग वाटर की नहीं दिखती है, आपका जो वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड की जो है पोषण का नहीं दिखता है, आंगनवाड़ी का नहीं दिखता. तो वो सब आना चाहिए, क्या कि वो लोगों को पंचायत है interacts them on day-to-day basis, but still if the resource envelope is not coming, then I think there is serious need to improve that. Next please. These are the sectoral priorities. इसमें एक चीज़ मैं यही बोलूँगा कि जो henceforth the पंचायत जिसमें भी शपथ ले तो उसकी रिसोर्स एनवेलप में भी रिफ्लेक्ट होनी चाहिए. इट शुड नॉट हैपन कि आप शपथ ले रहे हैं हेल्दी विलेज का और आपका रिसोर्स एनवेलप में दिख रहा है कंक्रीट रोड का, वो नहीं होना चाहिए. सो हम लोगों ने देखा है कि संकल्प आप कुछ ले रहे हैं लेकिन रिसोर्स में कुछ और दिख रहा है. सो नहीं होना चाहिए कि इधर आप संकल्प हेल्दी विलेज का ले रहे हैं और वहाँ पे जाके आपका पूरा 80% जो पैसा खर्च हो रहा है वो कंक्रीट रोड और ड्रेन पे खर्च हो रहा है ना. तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर आप हेल्थ पे संकल्प ले रहे हैं तो आपके हेल्थ पे भी रिसोर्सेज 60% खर्च होनी चाहिए कम से कम. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. सो ये एग्जाम्पल मैं दे रहा हूँ कि ये देखिए शपथ कुछ लिए थे कुछ और पे, लेकिन अगर आप जाएंगे वहाँ पे तो वो वही कुछ है. तो देयर इज नो, ये दिस ईयर के GPDP का एनालिसिस है. सो वी शुड, तो देयर शुड बी, तो SIRD and you know this all data is there in the you can download from eGram Swaraj. So SIRD should also you also strengthen, आपकी जो PMU टीम है उसको स्ट्रेंथन कीजिए और वो भी डेली बेसिस पे हर एक GPDP को एनालिसिस करें. वी ऑलवेज, तो आपके पास सारा GPDP है तो आप रैंडम हर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट से 10-10 GPDP का एनालिसिस करें और यू गिव फीडबैक टू द डिस्ट्रिक्ट अथॉरिटीज, तो पंचायत, कि भाई आपकी GPDP में ऐसा है तो नेक्स्ट ईयर आपकी GPDP थोड़ी ठीक बननी चाहिए. सो अभी से आप लोग कुछ फीडबैक देना शुरू करें. आपकी जो GPDP बनी हुई है दीज आर ऑल अवेलेबल इन योर पोर्टल ओनली. तो जैसे हम लोग एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं स्टेट वाइज, तो आप भी हर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट से 5-6 GPDP का लीजिए, उसको एनालिसिस कीजिए और फीडबैक दीजिए कि ये आपकी दीज आर द इंप्रूवमेंट्स रिक्वायर्ड. जैसे कि सेक्रेटरी RD ने बोला कि अगर सम स्टेट में अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस नहीं हो रहा है और कोई, तो उनको आप फीडबैक दीजिए कि कहाँ कहाँ आपकी शॉर्ट कमिंग है और कहाँ आप इंप्रूव करना चाह रहे हैं. सो आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल SIRD, प्लीज गिव दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ फीडबैक टू ऑल द blocks and panchayats so that they can improve the GPDP in coming years. Next please. अभी आप देखेंगे जो eGram Swaraj पे इतनी डाटा है कि वहाँ से आप कितने पंचायत में कितने पैसे हैं, क्या खर्च हो रहा है, वो भी आप मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं. तो मैं एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट का नेक्स्ट चलिए, तो ये सारी है जैसे प्लानिंग वर्सेस एक्सपेंडिचर की रिपोर्ट तो हर एक पंचायत वाइज आपको मिलेगी. नेक्स्ट चले. हाँ, ये ऑडिट लाइन का है. हाँ, तो इसमें एक, हाँ, तो इसमें ऑडिट ऑनलाइन की मिलेगी. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. तो भारत नेट की भी ये भी चीज़ को मॉनिटर कीजिए कि आपको पंचायत वाइज, अभी हमने एक रिपोर्ट आप खुद देख सकते हैं कि किस पंचायतों में भारत नेट की इंटरनेट नहीं पहुंच रही है. तो यू प्लीज टॉक टू योर BSNL पार्ट और जो भी, और उनको थोड़ा बोलिए कि भाई आपके पास पंचायत की लिस्ट है, बोलिए कि वहाँ पे आप इसको रेडी कराइए, है ना. तो उससे कनेक्टिविटी इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. ये आप देखें इसमें पंचायत वाइज ये आपके ये मैंने eGram Swaraj लोड किया, उसको आप भी कोई पासवर्ड जरूरत नहीं, आप भी अपलोड कर सकते हैं. आपकी NIC टीम को बुलाइए तो आपको हर एक पंचायत का एक्सपेंडिचर वाइज मिल जाएगा. सो आप देखें कि कितने पंचायतों में इतने पैसे पड़े हुए हैं और खर्च अभी तक नहीं हो रहा है, 3 क्वार्टर चला गया है और 20. सो ये जो पोर्टल है इट कैन बी यूज्ड एज ए मॉनिटरिंग टूल ऑल्सो. आप उससे फीडबैक दे सकते हैं कि आपकी आपके पास पैसा है तो आप इसकी जो प्लानिंग हुई है, अब आपका हर एक, तो यू कैन गिव ए फीडबैक टू द डिस्ट्रिक्ट अथॉरिटी, टू जिला परिषद ऑन मंथली बेसिस फ्रॉम दिस. तो आपको किसी रिपोर्ट मंगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. सो ऑल द रिपोर्ट्स आर देयर ऑन द डैशबोर्ड. So from there you can give feedback. So my limited point is that there has to be now evidence-based planning, evidence-based monitoring, and evidence-based implementation. Then only we all will be on the same understanding. So nobody can say that कि आपकी डाटा ठीक नहीं है. Next please. So आप वो देखेंगे बहुत सारे पंचायत में सर्विस रेडी पंचायत है इंटरनेट में, बट द पंचायत हैज टू डिपॉजिट सम मनी टू टेक द कनेक्शन. तो उसको भी आप थोड़ा सा वो करा सकते हैं. दैट लिस्ट इज देयर. So basically, so my today's focus was that operationalization of LSDG and using of the portal for the planning, implementation and monitoring and convergence of ministries. And for that, very concerted efforts have to be taken by us, by state governments, by NIRDPR, by SIRDs and all. And I think for next 6 months, we'll all be driven by this mission in coming days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the sharing us the expectations of MOPR and giving us valuable insights on how to go out with GPDP, resource envelope, etc. in a most effective manner. So now, to do the honors, I'll call Dr. Sri Sachibhushan Ji, DDG in charge and FA of NIDPR, to kindly felicitate our guest of the day, Dr. Chandrasekhar Kumarji, Additional Secretary MOPR, with a shawl and a memento along with a token of gift. Thank you very much, sir. With this, we come to the conclusion of forenoon session. We'll break for high tea now and a group photograph followed by high tea is in the lawn outside, and we'll assemble another 20 minutes for the post-lunch, post-tea session. We'll be discussing on review and status of training and research performance 2021, SIDPS, recurring and non-recurring grants, NIDPR training calendar by Sachibhushan sir, and we form working group later before lunch, and we will give them the topics, and our faculty will be taking the lead in making these groups. So with this, we'll break for tea now. Let's all have tea outside the lawn. And also we have a group photograph. Let's have group photograph first and then move towards tea. Thank you all.